Hi, happy Pride. My name is Tara and welcome to my kitchen. I'm going to be showing you tonight how to do very simple, easy, perfect summer meal. We are making fish tacos with tilapia and mango salsa. One of my favorite things to make. It takes very little time. It's very inexpensive. Tilapia is super high in protein. We do use mangoes, which are pretty high in sugar, so if that's an issue for you, if you're trying to cut back, if you have diabetic issues, and sugar's a no-go for you, it's the highest concentrated sugar fruit there is. So you might want to forego the mango salsa and go with your traditional pico de gallo, and you can always add some cucumber to that for a fresh summery note. But we're gonna go with the mango because that's what we like. So here I have just regular frozen tilapia. I've thawed them out through the day. I'm going to spray on them just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. I like doing the spray because then it's less oil on there. Creole seasoning. You can also use simple seasonal salt. I just like the extra little kick. Creole's got a little bit of cayenne in it, and I like a little more spice. So we're gonna just sprinkle that over the top of our lightly sprayed tilapia. And we're gonna pop them in the broiler. I have my broiler set to low broil, because it's gonna make it a little crisp on the side, but it's not gonna cook it too quickly. So we're gonna set our timer, our stove timer, for 10 minutes, because that's all the tilapia is going to need. You don't want it too overdone. Your flesh of your fish should still be pretty moist. You don't want to dry it out. I usually use about a ratio of 1.5 tilapia per person, because by the time you get your tacos assembled, you want it to be full and plenty for everyone. 3 or 4 tacos, depending on how hungry you are. So while we have the fish in there, I'm going to go ahead and start very slowly warming up my pan for my tortillas, because we're going to use those. And I can fit 3 on there, so we'll do 3 at a time. While that's getting going, we're going to work on our salsa. Salsa's super easy. We're done with these. We'll set these aside. Salsa's about as easy as you can get. The purple onion. I know some people call it a red onion. So it's purple. I call it purple. So we're just gonna open that up. Peel your outer layer so you don't get anything with an ugly texture in there. Stack these up, chop them. Pretty small dice on them. You don't want an overwhelming oniony flavor. You want the sweetness and you want that freshness and earthiness of the onion, but it can get to be a lot, so you don't want to overpower it with any really big chunks. So after I dice it, sometimes I just go back through just to bring it down a little bit more. I always put my onion in first. That's just the way I like to do it. No real reason why. It's just the way I do it. All right, so we got the onion in there. We're gonna get our mangoes opened up. I like to just do them slight incision there, the tip of the knife. I've seen all sorts of fancy videos on how to do these really cool way. I've never been able to do it, so I stick to this tried and true method. You can just peel it. These were not as ripe as I was hoping they'd be. You can also get those little yellow mangoes. I think they're called Arnufel, but I'm not entirely sure. Those are in season right now, but the store I went to today, I did not like the look of them. The flavors are a little bit different, not vastly different. You're still going to get the same basic flavor profile on them. You're just looking for a little bit of sweet. You can also, if you cannot find any good ripe mangoes, what also works with this is frozen. I have actually used those in a pinch. You just, there again, set them out when you're setting out your fish. let them thaw out, and then just chop them just like you would, I'll munch on that later, just like you would a fresh one. Of course, fresh is always best, but if you can't find them, don't worry, you can use the frozen. And the frozen you can usually find pretty easily in most stores. We use a lot of frozen mangoes in our smoothies around here. So you just dice them up like so. Slide them into your bowl. So I have one family member who just does not, she loves heat, but she does not like the taste of jalapeno peppers, or any peppers for that matter. So I usually do a bowl without peppers for her, or sometimes I'll just chop those peppers on the side and the rest of us can add them as we wish, however much you want, and that also controls the level of spice. If you've got little ones that you're mindful of their amount of spice. See, if this was a little bit riper, this would be peeling much better, but we're just gonna make it work. And do it the quick way. We're not losing a whole lot. If you just really skim your knife along the skin, you're not gonna lose so much of the meat. And like I said, those little ones you can actually chew on to get the rest of it out, but we're not gonna worry about that for slicing and dicing purposes. We're just really getting the main meat off of the sides. And something that's not too close to the seed, because the seed's a little bit fibrous. And sometimes if you get too close down to it, you're gonna mess up your texture of your fruit. And I'm not doing these super symmetrical. I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about getting it into the bowl. The nice thing about this meal as well is you don't heat up your kitchen. You're not, you know, doing a lot of baking of something. You're not doing a long time of roasting. You're not slaving over the stove, frying anything. It's just as light and fresh as you can get it for summer, and that's just perfect these hot days. At the end of it, you don't want to spend a lot of time in the kitchen. You don't want to spend a lot of time putting heat into your house. So next up, cilantro. Some people really don't like the taste of cilantro. I always have. I like a lot of it, so I like to put even the stems in there. If you chop them finely enough, there's a lot of flavor in those stems, and it makes use. It looked like a little teeny bit when we got started, and look at all that. And you just chop it pretty fine. I just move it around and keep my knife in motion. We'll put that over there so no more of that onion sneaks in there. And just keep bringing it back in, back in. Really just mince it up. You don't want any big hunks of leaf hanging off your mouth when you take a bite of your beautiful taco. And there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the jalapeno in here. You can do it one of two ways. You can seed it or not. I'm going to seed it just a little bit. I'm going to go in the center there and just move my smaller knife around in there and pull it out real easy. I don't mind a few of the seeds in there. And I'm putting that in the wrong stack. Let's just move it over here. I don't mind a few of them in there because I like the heat that they give. But there again, like with the cilantro leaf, you don't want a big hunk of anything messing up the texture of your nice, beautiful, soft fish tacos. And this one smells like it's got a little heat, which suits me just fine. So we're just gonna get a thin little cut on those. And again, keep it small. You don't want to overpower any one flavor. I'm a big fan of assembling each bite of food so that it has a little bit of everything in there and no one flavor completely overpowers the bite that you got. So slide that into there. And then, as always, I'm going to put that one aside so we don't overpower it. I'll add more once I take out a little bit aside for our non-pepper person. Rinse the pepper off my fingers. All right, so we've only got about 2 minutes left on the fish. These are some pretty big pieces, so I'm going to play it by eye there. Our Kamal is just about right. I'm going to go ahead and get some tortillas warming up here because you want to serve this really fresh. You can fit 3 on one of these little ones. I grabbed me a plate because I forgot to grab one earlier so that you can see what it looks like completely assembled. So while that fish finishes up, we're going to squeeze in a little bit of lime, actually a lot of lime. I like a lot of lime in my salsa. And you can just do all of these flavors to taste. You can really play with your ratio. If you want a lot more onion, a little less onion, you know, that's what I love about something fresh and easy like this, is you can put as much or as little of everything just to your taste. A little bit of pink salt, regular salt is perfectly fine. I happen to like the pink, and I like a lot of salt, as my family likes to tease me. So, if you can see that, oh, we got one not cut up in there. I'm gonna pull that guy back out and cut it up. So if you can see, all those beautiful colors are mixing. If you were here, you would smell it. It smells amazing, so fresh. And look you go, there's our timer. So we're gonna peek at our fish and see if it looks like it ought to. We want it just a little seared around the edges. We're gonna flip our corn tortillas while we're here. Give them a nice little adjustment there so they get cooked all around. And I'm looking at these and I think they need about 1 more minute, so we're gonna slide those right back in there. I want them tender and a little juicy, but I like just a bit of crisp around the edge. And that's gonna give me time to get this one little escaped mango out of there. So, once you get everything in there and assembled, you want to give it a little taste. I'm going to grab a smaller spoon to do that so I'm not tasting everybody's servings. Family probably doesn't mind, but if you're cooking for guests, you definitely want to use a extra spoon. Make sure we get all the way down to the bottom so that lime juice is mixed. All that salt kind of dissolves into that lime juice. And we're going to give it a little taste. And I'm going to go ahead and squeeze just a bit more lime. That was a spicy pepper, so it's got some good heat, which we want. And I don't think we need to taste it again. I think we're good to go. So I'm going to take my little compost pile here out of the way so that you can see. I'm just going to slide it out of view so that you can see how we are going to assemble these very simple, beautiful tacos. So our corn tortillas are just about ready. There again, very individual tastes with the corn tortillas. Some people like them really soft, some people like them a little crispy. We like them right in the middle. So I'm going to grab my fish and bring it over so I can assemble it right there. Your tortillas go down. And like I said, you're looking for about 1.5 fillets per serving. So we're gonna put a half on each one Some of these are pretty big. And once you get the sauce on there, you're gonna have plenty of fish, because you're really gonna pile it high with this beautiful salsa on the top. Slide it around there. Get a little bit of lime on there, it's always good. Fish and lime is a great combination, so get some extra juice on there, good to go. Super easy, quick for a weeknight, inexpensive, high protein, healthy, fresh summer meal. Tilapia fish tacos with mango salsa. Bon appetit!